Can you welcome me back, please?
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, so I want to talk about business cycles. That is not always the rosy as it sounds, that we always have economic activities in an economy going on well, and we have economic growth all the time. It's very rare that you find a country having robust economic activities, growing economic activities every year. We have at times situations where that is not possible. Yeah, so business cycles have been studied to exist quite systematically, and they have reached a point where sometimes you can predict that a bad time is coming or good times are coming. So you have situations where you have booms and swings and prosperity and upturns and peak times. And then you have situations where businesses in general are going down. They are having tough time. And that too is linked to one cause of unemployment. Unemployment is where you have people who are looking for a job, but they cannot find a job. So they are unemployed. One cause of unemployment is business cycles. Certain times businesses go down for maybe 2 or 3 years, and then they pick up, and then they'll have good 5-year periods, and then they go down, and it has been studied as a phenomenon that you can talk about, predict, and very common. So they have reached a stage where some economists have even named these phases, these cycles, because they happen so distinctly, and you can study their phenomenon. So the names, usually you have startup, beginnings, which can be rough and sometimes smooth. And then you have an expansion time. So the businesses might initially start small or start in a steady rate, and then you reach a stage where now you have what is called the expansion stage, where you grow, you experience some boom, an upswing or prosperity. Then you move on like that until you reach a peak period for most businesses. So most businesses have this graph where they start, and then they grow, they start expanding and expanding, and then they reach a top, which is now the peak before they start going down. Then you also have another phase, which is where now the business is downsizing again to reorganize or re-strategize, which is normally called the construction period. That is also related to the general downturn in the economy. So sometimes you have what is called recession or depression and all that. So you go down, and then you also reach a turning point where you can no longer go down any further. So there's a limit to which you can go low. So you reach your trough, your lower turning point, before you start climbing up again. So this is a general generalization of the type of cycles you get. So to be more precise, during the expansion and prosperity, where you are expanding both output and employment, you're employing more people and you're using a lot of resources, and you are doing great. During this time, most of the people who are looking for jobs get employment. So you don't have an employment which is related to bad times. You get some unemployment which is, for example, frictional. This frictional means, for example, when people are changing jobs, you can be temporarily unemployed, and that is what we call frictional unemployment. Sometimes maybe you are leaving work because you just gave birth. So maybe you are giving up work because you want to look after a spouse who is not well. So those are what we call frictional unemployment, as well as it's not related to the unemployment that you get during expansion and prosperity. Is not structural, meaning the unemployment which is structural is unemployment which is related to the unmatching of job skills to jobs. So structural unemployment is where people cannot get employment because the skills that they have are not matching with the skills that the employer wants. So sometimes, for example, when there's technological change, some jobs have been mechanized. They no longer want human hands, they want machines. That is what we call structural unemployment. So these things do not happen during that time when you have expansion and prosperity in the businesses. And then contraction is just the opposite of that, where things are really getting bad. Now, during trough and recovery, these are these periods when the industries and businesses are repaying loans, for example, that they were taking during the time they were going down the drain, for example, because businesses were not good. They were probably taking some loans, and the stocks were low, supplies were low. So this is a recovery time for businesses to get back. Somebody was talking.
May you please go back to that slide? I want to take a screenshot.
But
This one,
Debbie,
yes.
these slides, we have them. These notes, we have them. That zipped folder we're
Yeah,
given.
these notes, these are notes number 4. Remember in the managerial notes that I shared.
Yes, but it's okay. I want to be taking screenshots. It's fine.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. So these business cycles, if you were to graph them, they will look like that. So what could be some of the causes? Some causes of business cycles. Sometimes they occur because of banking operations. When banks change the volume of money supply in the economy, they can produce some cyclical phenomenon. So this happened because of situations where, for example, the banks, the central banks especially, want to fight inflation or unemployment using the money supply or monetary policy. And so the bank discount rates change, the base lending rates change. That affects, for example, deposits and cash reserves. When they change the liquidity reserve requirements, those affect the amount of money available for banks to lend out, for example. So they can make, for example, cause banks to borrow less or borrow expensively or to borrow more. So it depends. So these cycles can actually be promoted or encouraged by banking operations. Number two cause is the change between consumption and investment.
Ine ndendasiya kumvarusa.
Sorry? Hello? Griffin?
Zasiya kumveka ka.
Oh, Matopa.
Hey.
Okay, then we
If
stop
possible,
here, then we will continue from here.
Yeah, tukozongopanga seklasi nake basi zapange seklasi nake uzinde tasiya kumvara.
Yeah,
Bakusi.
that's okay. We can we can talk, we can have a talk some other time. Now we have, before you go, Debbie. Who is Debbie?
Deborah.
Ah, Deborah God.
Yeah.
Okay. Called Griff, Gri 15 in Griffin. Huh?
Yo, man.
Is that Griffin?
Antu mukuti mwatopa kusinga wake kumengo.
Asa Deo.
Yeah, nikusekela ntulo.
Griff
Griffin.
15, Griff 15 in Griffin. Okay. Good. No, when we want to arrange another, we will agree.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
because,
All right.
So,
So business.
have a great night. Good night.
Good
you too,
night.
sir.
Thank you
Bye
so
bye.
much, sir. Bye-bye.
Maliza.
Pula.